KSAT12, the news at noon starts right now.
New at noon, a suspicious package at the entrance of JBSA Lackland, now in the hands of a bomb squad, and the person suspected of leaving it there is in custody.
We are told the main entrance of JBSA is closed while the investigation continues. Also closed, West Military Drive from Highway 90 to 5 Palms Drive. That area will be shut down while the Bexar County Sheriff's Office investigates.
JBSA security responded to the reports of that package at the Luke East Gate just before 9 o'clock this morning. Bomb squad personnel again now on the scene. People again being asked to avoid this area.
A dark, busy street is no place for a young child, but that is where 2 preschoolers have turned up alone on 2 different days of the week.
San Antonio police believe somehow both of them got out of their homes in the middle of the night. Katrina Weber has more from one child care expert on how parents can make sure their kids stay put.
It's not the kind of call San Antonio police get every day, but even lightning can strike twice. For the second time this week, officers found themselves trying to work through a lost child's tears. Early this morning, it was a 5-year-old girl found wandering the streets in the dark. A passerby noticed her dangerously close to the Loop 410 access road east of Harry Wurzbach. Monday morning, someone else found a 4-year-old boy who police say wasn't reported missing until 6 hours later. They found him about 3 blocks from his home on Globe Avenue around 1:30 a.m.
It's scary, right? Parents and caretakers have to be on call all the time, and that's hard to do in the middle of the night.
Katrina Campbell is CEO of the Brighton Center, which offers childcare and other services. She says it's easy for youngsters to slip away in the blink of an eye.
Children are curious. Children want to play. They are trying to engage in different things around them, and parents are busy.
One idea for keeping the little ones close to home is to keep the home closed. By putting a lock or chain up high enough, you'll keep it out of their reach.
Maybe it's an alarm system that will trigger when a child leaves. Maybe it's locking their bedroom door.
Campbell says the plan ultimately should be based on the individual child. Neither toddler found wandering this week was able to tell police where they lived. Still, officers this morning tracked down the mother of the girl and reunited them. Police are trying to figure out how the children got out and if any adult should face charges. Katrina Weber, KSAT12 News.
Outside with Live Cam, the good news is it's in the low 90s at 12:02 instead of the high 90s.
Yeah, but we lost all those pretty clouds we had yesterday, Justin.
Oh, they were nice. Providing some shade from time to time. We're not going to see a lot in the way of cloud cover today. We're just not. It's mostly sunny right now. Temperatures are starting to warm up. We're at 92 right now. Let's look around the area and see what temperatures look like area-wide. And we're starting to see things warm up. Heat indices still kind of off the charts here. 103 is what it feels like in New Braunfels. 96 is what it feels like in Seguin. Bernie feels like 88, 92 there in Kerrville. So the humidity still making a difference. That humidity level comes down a little bit this afternoon, but not enough because we'll still get heat indices 103 plus, I think. High temperature today here in San Antonio, 101, mostly sunny. And then this evening, we're still in the 90s through about 9 o'clock before we drop down into the 80s. No rain chances today. And as we look at the headlines here, can we do it? Will we hit the most 100-degree days in a year? Oh, it's looking like we might. Football, that starts tonight. We've got some Thursday night games, and what about the chances for storms tomorrow? There's a small chance. We'll have to look into that with Friday night football games going on and Tuesday rain. Weak front kicks up some rain next week. It's looking a little more promising. Very quickly, before we toss it back to David and Ursula, I want to show you that we have an accident here. Some sort of crash, I-35 and I-37, and this is causing some major backups. That's that ramp to get onto I-35. And with no one being able to exit there, I-37 is backed up pretty much to the Alamo Dome there. So just beware. That's going to cause some issues. And we have it here on our traffic map. And you can see it's backed up quite a ways. That's going to be an issue, it looks like, for a while longer. So you may want to alter your plans if you have plans to travel north along Interstate 37. Guys.
Good advice, Justin. Thank you.
Police still looking for a driver after they hit a bicyclist on the southeast side this morning. It happened on South W.W. White Road near Loop 410, and the driver kept going, dragging that bike about 200 yards down the road. Another driver called 911 to report the incident. Police say the bicyclist was taken to the hospital. It's not clear how they're doing this noon, though.
How much time in prison should a man get for his brutal shooting outside of a local nail salon? In court today, an expert witness taking the stand to talk about Kent Wynn's mental state when he shot his brother-in-law. We have video, likely one of the reasons Wynn pleaded guilty to the fatal shooting in 2021 over a business dispute with his brother-in-law. In testimony yesterday, the dead man's wife, again, Wynn's sister, took the stand. She said that while they were partners, Wynn was never actually an owner. Testimony continuing today, and deliberations are expected tomorrow.
Right now, Georgia authorities are on standby for former President Donald Trump's surrender. Trump and 18 co-defendants facing charges of conspiracy and racketeering and a failed effort to overturn Trump's 2020 election loss in Georgia to Joe Biden. Meanwhile, as ABC's Justin Finch tells us, Trump is shaking up his legal team.
Outside of Atlanta's Fulton County Jail, heightened security as the sheriff braces for Donald Trump to surrender. Once he turns himself in, sheriff's deputies will record the former president's height and weight, fingerprint him, and take his mugshot. Trump then set for release on a $200,000 bond. In a pre-recorded interview with conservative host Tucker Carlson, Trump attacking District Attorney Fani Willis, claiming his charges are politically motivated.
They're suing me, and they're saying you don't have any right to challenge it. If you challenge an election, we're going to indict you and put you in jail.
Willis alleges Trump was at the center of a plot, along with 18 co-defendants, to overturn his defeat in Georgia's 2020 presidential election to Joe Biden. Former Trump attorneys Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis, and Rudy Giuliani arrested and booked in Georgia Wednesday. The remaining defendants have until 12 p.m. Eastern Friday to surrender to authorities, and that's likely to include Trump's former White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows. A judge ruled he must present himself for arrest by that time. A hearing is scheduled for Monday on Meadows' request to have his case moved to federal court. And former Trump Justice Department official Jeffrey Clark's request to move his case to federal court is still pending as that surrender deadline looms. With some protesters expected, law enforcement remains on high alert, but officials say they're not tracking any specific threats to Trump's arrest today, which is expected to move quickly. Justin Finch, ABC News, Atlanta.
Still coming up, a Dallas cowboy arrested in Dallas. We'll have that for you in a few minutes. Just 2 weeks into the new school year, and Karnes County School District is closing its doors temporarily. Runge Independent School District says they are having to close because of rising COVID cases within the district. The district's website says it had 10 active cases as of this past Monday. All 10 were among its 43 staff members. Classes and extracurriculars are canceled through the week. Runge plans to reopen coming up on Tuesday. COVID cases are also increasing here in San Antonio. Just yesterday, Metro Health reported more than 1,900 cases over this past week.
A child with a rare but painful condition creating a desperate situation for a local mother. He needs a special medical helmet for her son, but it's running into red tape. Haley Powers with why cranial helmets are so important and why this one is hard to come by.
I truly don't understand how a child's skull is cosmetic.
Miranda Hernandez is at a standstill right now with her Medicaid insurance after they continue to deny coverage for a cranial helmet for her son, Ezekiel. Hernandez saying her insurance claims the need for the helmet is cosmetic. Clinical director of the UT Health San Antonio Cranial Remolding Program, Darren Poitevin, says the American Board of Certification recognizes the word cosmetic as when you take something and beautify it. But he says cranial helmets are much more than that.
We're not beautifying something. We're taking something that's abnormal and bringing it back into a normalcy.
In Ezekiel's case, he has a condition called torticollis, which means the muscle in his neck are tight, causing him to not be able to move his head properly. This has led to another condition called plagiocephaly, which means the shape of his head is becoming flat.
As much as I try to, contact, insurance, they just won't help me. So I feel helpless, that I can't help my own son.
Poitevin says getting a baby into a cranial helmet is crucial. When a helmet is not used when needed, it can lead to vision issues, increased ear infections, and problems with the jaw.
80% of the skull grows in that first year. all this lower part takes about 10 years to develop. So we want to get all this line so this follows.
Oidevin recommends a baby getting into a helmet around 4 to 6 months old since the skull is not fused yet. As for Ezekiel, he turns 1 in September and a baby skull fuses at 18 months. You can read more about his story on KSAT.com. Haley Powers, KSAT12 News.
Let's get outside with live cam. I'm going to show you that wreck again. You can see that is a massive backup. That is on I-37. We're going north. The Alamo Dome is not too far away from there. And the accident actually happened on the off-ramp onto 35 south. So that's where that is. So if you ever go up that way, you know what we're talking about.
It's a parking lot. The only traffic moving there is the right-hand lane, and that's the one that's heading north on 35.
Or the guy going down the shoulder.
Don't be that guy.
Don't do that, guy.
Don't be that
He
guy.
said, no, I'm passing this up. About, oops.
And yeah, you can almost hear the air conditioners humming in that parking lot down there.
You sure can. I mean, they're probably already cranked up here with temperatures already jumping into the 90s. Feels like numbers already close to 100. Good news here, the aquifer. It's jumping up 0.3 of a foot, 628.3. It's up over a foot since we received some of that rain on Tuesday, which was fantastic. The mold count, well, it's down from yesterday, but it's still in the high category, 9,870. If you remember, yesterday was very high. What about our rain chances going forward? We have some more. We'll take a look coming up.
School spirit and appreciating our furry friends today on SA Live.
Coming up right after the noon show, Historic Market Square. I know there's got to be somebody cheering somewhere in your little studio there. Where are they?
We're gonna surprise you. Don't worry. We got a whole bunch out there with lots of spirit. But first of all, 2 days in a row.
Yes. I mean, we just want to see those pet pictures because National Dog Day is coming up.
Yeah, coming up tomorrow. So this was our question yesterday, and we had such a great response that we want to do it again. So make sure you scan the QR code. We're going to pop that up there somewhere right now, and then send in those pics, and we hope to show them just a little bit later on.
People are so proud of their pets.
Their family.
I know.
So that's National Dog Day. When, tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Or excuse me, Saturday.
Saturday.
I was thinking it was Friday. My apologies.
It's okay.
All right.
You've been up
National
since
Dog
really
Day on
early.
Saturday.
I think we're having a little problem with the QR code.
Yes.
But we're going to try and get that for you in just a bit. Because
And
I've
we'll
got to
have-
send you a picture of my little dog.
We will have that up there at in about a half an hour as well. When we do
Okay.
our next tease. So yeah.
Well, National Dog Day goes right along with the dog days of summer because we're in the middle.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
boy, aren't we? So if we hit 100 today, what happens?
We'll move into a tie for third place, most 100-degree days in a year. But I'm feeling more and more confident that we're going to win it. We're going to take it all.
Well,
great.
so right now we're in line for the bronze medal, but we're going for gold.
Yeah, you know, the thing
Okay.
about it is it's been so hot this summer, we might as well just get it. Why not at this point?
Make the pain worth it.
Exactly. We start with the drought monitor, and look, you look at Texas, it's bad. We have exceptional drought over much of central Texas. Now, what I need to point out about this, and by the way, the drought is worst right here, right where we are. You look across the country, it is at its worst. San Antonio points north. But what I need to point out here is this does not take into account Tuesday's rain, okay? So this is taken until Tuesday morning, and then they give us all the data on Thursday. So next Thursday, it will take into account our recent rains, and we may see this pared back just a little bit. But the bottom line here is we're still very much in a drought situation, and I can tell you the rain was great on Tuesday, but it was not near enough to really dent this drought. So exceptional drought was extended south across all of Bexar County. You're looking at Comal County, Guadalupe County, Bandera County, Kerr County now included in this, which it has been for a while. Kendall County's kind of been at the heart of this exceptional drought. It's gone from bad to worst. But again, we did have that rain Tuesday, so that's going to help a little bit. As we look at the month of August, of course, Tuesday, we were below average for the first time in a very, very long time. Yesterday, we jumped up back above average, but below 100, 98. So we are 5.4 degrees above average if you look at the month as a whole. And our hottest day was 106. We have had 56 days at 100 plus. We have 100 or above today. It'll be 57. The forecast does call for that. 101 by 4 o'clock, 101 by 5 p.m. and we're still close to 100 at 7 o'clock before it finally cools down a little bit. Mostly clear skies today, light southerly winds. We don't really have a rain chance in the forecast, but it does come back tomorrow. And here is that list that Ursula was talking about. If we do hit 100 today, we'll jump up to 57, tying 2011. If we hit 100 over the weekend, Friday and over the weekend, which I think we will, we'll jump right on up to that top spot. Last set in 2009 with 59 days. So 2023, one for the record books. 92 right now. 96 is what it feels like. West-southwesterly winds at about 3. Cloud cover, well, we don't have that much here around San Antonio, but we're starting to see some of those cumulus clouds develop. You'll notice there are some down to the south and west of town. It is already 96 in New Braunfels, already 96 in Gonzales, 92 in Kennedy, and low 90s here around Bexar County right now. But it feels like it's in the mid to upper 90s because of that humidity. It feels like 100 right now in Canyon Lake. It's going to be humid most of the day with the humidity falling off just a little bit during the afternoon, but not enough to where we won't get rid of the heat index. It's going to be there. 103 is what it will feel like at 5 o'clock. As you go east, higher heat indices. As you go west, they're a little bit lower. But either way, it's going to be a hot day. Hey, we got football. I've been waiting to break this graphic out for a long time. Thursday night football is here. We got Friday night football tomorrow night. I'll tell you, though, it's going to be hot. 99 at kickoff, 93 at halftime. So here's a look at the forecast for today very quickly. I'm not expecting much rain, but as we get into tomorrow night, that's when we could see a few pop-up stray showers, maybe a storm. We got to mention that, of course, Friday night football. Hopefully it doesn't interrupt any of the games, but actually some rain would be nice. It's a small chance. I'd say 20% on Friday. And as we look long-term, our ridge of high pressure starts to shift west. This opens up the door just a little bit. I think we get a weak front in here Monday into Tuesday, and that should kick off some showers and storms. So we've raised rain chances just a little bit on Tuesday. Otherwise, it's triple digits all the way through Monday. And you see Monday, 20% chance of rain, 30% chance, though, on Tuesday. And it does cool us down just a little bit, upper 90s. Tuesday
Hey,
and
look
Wednesday.
at that.
Yeah.
Hey, your kicker's off to a flying start already.
Always. 100%, my friend.
Man,
Never misses.
picking up where he left off last year.
Yep.
That. A former star for the Cowboys getting his place in the Ring of Honor. We'll have that for you coming up. And UTSA picked to win their new conference championship. We'll tell you who actually picked them to do that.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
We now have confirmation of what we already knew. Cowboys rookie linebacker DeMarvion Overshown will miss his rookie season after tearing the ACL in his left knee Saturday night in Seattle. You see him in a little bit of pain there on the ground. Cowboys lost that one 22-14. He was carted off the field and didn't know it at the time that it was really bad. Now he does. He remains very unbeat, though.
No, it didn't. I thought they were just giving me a free ride to the locker room. They didn't want me to walk. So, I thought I was going to come back out just jogging, having one of those moments. But, didn't get the news I wanted. But like I say, I'm blessed. I'm highly favored. I'm still able to rock this star everywhere I go. And like I say, I'm looking forward to next year.
No disappointment?
At all. None at all. There's another bump in the road. And like I say, I'm ready to share my testimony after I come back from this.
Yeah, tough for that Cowboy defense, though. Cowboys defensive end Sam Williams was arrested Sunday on multiple charges, including possession of controlled substance and unlawful carrying of a weapon per Frisco police. He had 2 tackles and a sack Saturday night in Seattle. He was with the team when they got back to Dallas on Sunday morning, and he rested later in the day. He is subject to a fine or suspension by the NFL. Jerry Jones told the media yesterday he doesn't anticipate Sunday's arrest will have an impact on Williams' availability for the upcoming season. And the Cowboys' great DeMarcus Ware, the team's all-time leader in sacks, will be inducted in the Cowboys' Ring of Honor later this season. Jerry Jones has made that announcement. Ware inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame earlier this month. College football excitement at the Dome yesterday. Believe it or not, it's the Valero Alamo Bowl's 31st year. The Pigskin preview at the Alamo Dome took place with football fans, local businesses, and leaders, and Valero Alamo Bowl scholarship winners enjoying lunch. And ESPN college football analyst Dusty Dvorak says he can see the UTSA Roadrunners winning the American Athletic Conference in their first season in the league.
Oh, I love Jeff Traylor. You got a 7th-year quarterback in Frank Harris, so absolutely they have a shot. I mean, I think SMU is going to be really good. Tulane's the reigning champions. I did the American Conference Championship game last year. Willie Fritz is a heck of a coach, and he's got a really good quarterback, and Michael Pratt coming back. So, but do I think that Jeff Traylor is going to come in and be a real player in this league? Absolutely, 100% I do. He's done a phenomenal job. This program continues to grow, and I don't think he's looking to take any kind of steps back this year.
There has been a lot of conference changes in college football that will directly affect the Valero Alamo Bowl. RJ Marquez caught up with Alamo Bowl president and CEO Derek Fox to discuss the future of the bowl game here in San Antonio.
Well, it's been an offseason of change for college football, but we know that this year the Valero Alamo Bowl will stay the same, picking some of the best from the Pac-12 and Big 12. So the big changes here, Texas, Oklahoma, obviously leaving next year. We spoke to Derek Fox about this. Plus, he also mentioned some new conference affiliations, maybe even the SEC. Plus, they want to get into the mix when it comes to the college football playoff.
It is an ever-changing landscape. As you'll see right now, as we sit, there are 4 teams in the Pac-12 going forward. They can't have a conference with 4 teams. They'll expand, they'll go someplace else. We'll see what happens from that perspective. So a lot of moving parts. But again, the beauty of it is, we got a lot of excitement going on from that perspective. This year, we got a great history and tradition of what's gone on with the Valero Alamo Bowl. And the people who support us every year have been fantastic. That allows us to currently be right at the top bowl outside the CFP. Really in 26 and beyond, as we'll have a chance to potentially be a New Year's Six Bowl, if you will, or potential future national championship host sites. 2 conferences we've never officially been involved with, SEC, but obviously some members now that they're joining them will be affiliated with in the future. We'll see. And also the ACC. So the one conference that kind of started realignment a number of years ago hasn't expanded yet, but could. So we'll take a look and see. But I think when you look at it, at the matchups we've had, you look at, again, the destination city, the best title sponsor in the business, and not a bad recruiting footprint as well. It's a great situation to be in.
And this game still generates millions of dollars for the city of San Antonio, and Fox says that he does not see that changing anytime soon.
See that lady holding that Texas Tech helmet? Pretty sharp.
I bought Texas Tech football tickets this morning.
Because your daughter is a Red Raider. Go Tech.
Parents Weekend, here we go. All right, more companies popping up. They are offering parents some childcare alternatives, how they're trying to fill in areas where it's tough to find a daycare center. A big night for the 8 Republican hopefuls who took the stage in Milwaukee, vying for the Oval Office during this first GOP debate. The Republican frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, choosing to skip the debate while he faces a slew of federal and state charges. ABC's Jacqueline Lee reports one candidate took much of the heat.
Tensions were high during the first GOP presidential debate. 8 Republican candidates squaring off. 38-year-old entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy catching most of the sharp elbows from his rivals.
Who the heck is this skinny guy with a funny last name, and what the heck is he doing in the middle of this debate stage? I'll tell you, I'm not a politician.
The last person in one of these debates, Brett, who stood in the middle of the stage and said, "What's a skinny guy with an odd last name doing up here?" was Barack Obama.
Ranking 3rd in the polls, Ramaswamy taking much of the heat as his contenders attacked his lack of political experience when he said he would stop giving money to fight the war in Ukraine.
You have no foreign policy experience, and it shows.
And you know what? Candidates also clashing over abortion restrictions.
Would you sign a 6-week ban federally?
I'm going to stand on the side of life.
We need to stop demonizing this issue.
The candidates agreeing Mike Pence did the right thing on January 6th.
I kept my oath to the Constitution that day. There's no more important duty. So answer the question.
Mike did his duty. I got no beef with him. But here's the thing. Is this what we're going to be focusing on?
Former President Donald Trump absent as he faces 4 indictments and 91 charges, sitting this one out as he is expected to turn himself into authorities today.
Would you still support him as your party's choice? Please raise your hand if you would.
All but 2 candidates eventually raising their hands.
And it was interesting, Chris Christie kind of raised his hand, but he made it clear he was not saying yes. He was making a point because they all signed a pledge to say that they'll support whoever the nominee is.
Former President Trump released a pre-recorded interview ahead of the debate. He later reacted online after it was over, attacking many of the candidates. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News, New York.
Back outside with live cam. Boy, it was nice the last few days. We had a little bit of rain, we had some clouds, and now we got blue sky and heat and humidity and still some mold.
We're so used to this, though. this is what we've had all summer.
So used to it. But at least we do have a weak front in the forecast, and just encouraging that we're starting to see some of those fronts get a little bit closer. Look, we'll get there. We're going to get there. But it is still very hot right now. Let's look across the country. The heat stretches all the way up to St. Louis and Chicago. Chicago is actually hotter than San Antonio right now. It's 96 there. 95 in St. Louis. It's 100 in Wichita. So you can see where our heat high is right here. But we're feeling some of that too. It's 100 in Dallas, 91 in San Angelo, 100 in Houston. They're stacking up their triple-digit days there, too. And I think we probably get there this afternoon here in town. 101 is the forecast. Mostly sunny skies and a light southeasterly wind. We'll drop down into the 80s by about 11 o'clock or so. So it takes some time. It is another CPS Energy yellow day. You can scan this QR code for more information. But as it has been most of the summer, we're asking that you conserve energy between 3 and 8 p.m. Very quickly, let's look at that incident again at I-35 and I-37. Looks like the vehicle that may have flipped there is up right now. They're trying to get it towed away. So they're working feverishly to get that ramp back open, but it is still backing up traffic quite a ways, all the way back to the Alamo Dome there along I-37 northbound. Hopefully they'll get it cleaned up soon and traffic will improve, but you may want to avoid that area for now, guys.
Thank you, Justin. A management company now responding after some families moved their kids into a local apartment complex at UTSA over the weekend. When they walked in the door, they were hit with some pretty foul smells. One parent tells KSAT she was surprised at how dirty her son's new unit at University Oaks was when they moved him in. She's worried about a substance they found in the vents. Another new tenant says she had a similar experience with the unit being dirty and full of bugs.
We should be checking the rooms before move-in, just to do like basic maintenance and basic cleaning, like vacuuming the carpets.
You cannot break your contract because they're going to do whatever it takes to give you a livable condition. Well, being infested with mold and roaches is not a livable condition.
University Oaks offers on-campus housing at UTSA, but the property is owned and operated by a separate company. The management company says it is responding to the complaints and are asking residents to make further complaints directly to the on-site management.
The Biden administration continuing its battle for borrowers as the pause on payments is getting ready to come to a close. If you have a student loan debt, experts are urging you to go ahead and apply for the administration's new plan as soon as possible. It's called SAVE, and it bases your monthly payment on what you earn and the size of your family. The plan would also forgive the remaining balance of the loan after a number of years. Reminder, though, student loan interests resumes on September 1st next week, and payments will resume in October.
Fewer people across the U.S. applying for unemployment benefits. The Department of Labor reports that the number of Americans filing claims for the first time jobless benefits fell last week to 230,000. That's a drop of about 10,000 from the week before. Initial claims filed last week at Hawaii, where deadly wildfires ravaged parts of Maui, spiked by 3,679 to 5,427. But jobless claims nationally still below the pre-pandemic levels, which points to a resilient labor market despite inflation and high interest rates.
T-Mobile planning to lay off 5,000 employees in the coming weeks. In a letter to its employees, T-Mobile CEO Mike Sievert said that the layoffs are going to be taking place over the next 5 weeks. These cuts will largely affect corporate and back office jobs. About 7% of T-Mobile's total staff will be cut. It comes after months of massive layoff announcements at other tech companies, including Microsoft and Meta, as they grapple with an uncertain economic environment. As startups change in the way that parents think about childcare by looking to moms to fill in the gaps in daycare options.